Hello and welcome to the eye shader. This is the third installment where I've created a more realistic looking eye for less, I guess. And what we have here is an eye with translucency, and we got some sclera bump, we got our eye color, iris colors, vein colors and the amount, and your eye size. We've got the iris size as well, because you want to distort that a little bit. You got your lens gloss, lens push. We got some caustic power, force caustics. So if it's in a dark environment, you can actually push this through. You got your pupil size. You've got the pupil height and width, in case you want a kind of snake eye kind of effect. You've got pupil sharpness, in case you want to blur that out a little bit. To get that back, just turn the width and height back to 1, and you got your pupil size back. Increase the sharpness. Okay, and we got the parallax effect working now as well, so when you're side on, it looks like you're seeing round the side of the eye, kind of like a refraction type effect. Gives it that realism, and this is just a single mesh as well, so there's no double mesh or anything here. If I select you'll see it's just one mesh. Pretty nice. I've got two LODs on this, so when you zoom out, it will switch to the lower polygon one. There we go. And it's not too high detailed mesh wise anyway. This is a normal map that drives the lens part here. And there's a normal map driving the sclera, which is the veins. So let me just show you some changes. So if we move the light behind the object, behind the eye, so it's pointing from behind, we get this translucency effect, which is really nice. So you can change the power of that, strength and normal distortion, fall off, and various other things, ambient light, direct light, and how shadow affects it. So I like it a little bit low, a bit there. Okay, the directional light also affects this caustic effect, and that's basically just driven through a texture that gets rotated based on the light direction. So it's a little cheat, a little hack, and it seems to work good enough. So if you look at the shader, you'll see that there's this Caustic Mask. This is the Caustic Mask, which basically lines up with the extras here. So it's a red, green and blue channeled thing. Can't see them, but green basically drives all the sclera effect, blue masks out the lens, and red's for the ring of the eye. So let's change some of those. Okay, so we've got the iris extra detail map as well. You can change that to whatever you want. I've added a nice one here which does the job, and there's a few more kind of geometric ones if you want a different effect. So you got your sclera bump here. Let's bring the light back round. Okay. Okay. Sclera bump scale. You got your eyeball color and gloss. Gloss is in the alpha. Do that to save space. Iris base color. So if you think of the iris as two-toned, there's the base and then there's the actual iris part. So you get loads of nice different variety of colours between the two of them. Make some nice blue eyes, bluey brown. Now the caustic power is a bit high, so I'll bring that down a bit. The pupil size maybe a little bit big. Got the eye vein colour and the amount. You just move the slider here, and the ring as well. This ring here, you can change the tone of that. So if you want it really dark, and also the amount. Usually find in female eyes this tends to look darker for some reason, so you might want to make that quite dark and then this quite high for female eyes, and maybe for male eyes have it kind of halfway, grey and halfway. You can change the lens push so it's not as, not as stark around the edges here. And you got your gloss. Force caustics again brings in some of the secondary tone, and the caustic power again does that as well. They both kind of do similar things, but force caustic effects will drive it in if it's in the dark. So like this. Caustic power also does that, but the force caustic just makes sure it gets through. Could potentially reduce this down into one slider, but yeah, both for now. You see the translucency coming in because the light is still there. So if you're using the day and night system, it's important to kill the intensity of your light like that. And you'll see we've still got this right here, so you might want to change that force caustics to be a bit lower, something like that. Of course, when you update the reflection probe, you see that it's reflecting dark now. So I'll bring that right round to here. Oh, I need to increase the light intensity. So 1.5 is usually good. Back to that, change the base color again. Let's go for something a bit more bluish. And there you go. So it's quite an improvement based on the old shader where it looks slightly broken and cartoony. But it's still useful. I mean, you can do some nice things with this. It's kind of halfway between realistic and fake, I guess. And I'm much happier with the result of this one. So, future update, I'm going to make a few different iris textures, along with some extra masks here. Yeah, there'll be some extra iris ones and more shapes, so that should build nicely upon what you can do with this. Have a good play with the eye shader 2, model 2, so it's like you get all these nice rotation things, rotation speed and things like that. You'll see that in the previous videos. So yeah, I'm going to push this up now, and hopefully you'll see this in the next couple of days. And thanks to those who have bought this already. If you've not bought it, it's relatively cheap and it's on Unity Asset Store. Feel free to comment below or get in touch if you have any issues or want some certain feature. Thanks for watching. Bye.